Good morning, traders. Happy Friday to you. Hopefully you are all doing well today. My name is Jason Krutzky, and welcome to another episode of Office Hours. If you are new to Office Hours, if you've never been here before, this is the show where we talk all things TrendSpider. We can talk about TrendSpider tools. We can talk about what's going on the charts. We can talk about how to develop things. We can talk about indicators. We can talk about literally anything you guys want, but it's up to you. This is the show that is built by you. You guys decide what we talk about here. So hopefully everybody's doing well this morning. I cannot tell for some reason. YouTube is not telling me if there's anybody here. So if you are here, please say hello. Introduce yourself. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Tell me what brings you here today. Are you here because you want to learn how to, how to do something? Are you here because you got a question? Are you here because you saw in our Discord that I was going live and you were bored and you just said, hey, okay, I'll tune into that? What brings you here today? Please let me know. I would love to chat with you. Like I said, I'm here for you. What's up, Steve? Hope you're well this morning, Mr. Weinstein. How can I help you today? What brings you here? And how can I be of service to you this lovely Friday, early afternoon, perhaps late morning, depending on where you are in the world? I'm in Colorado, so it's like late morning for me right now. But yeah, Steve, what are you trading today? What are you watching? And what brings you here? And how can I assist? I'd love to answer questions. I have no agenda. I have no real plan today. Nothing that I really wanted to show you guys. Okay, I see there are a few of you guys here now. So what's up? What's up? Hit me. Hit me with what you got. Do you just want to talk markets? Do you want to look at anything in particular? I was I had my eye here on AMD this morning, if y'all want to know what I was doing. You're a TrendSpider trader. You wanted to learn more about how to use auto chart indicators. Also, what momentum oscillators do I like? All right, so I will tell you, when it comes to momentum oscillators, I don't really use them personally, so I can't really speak to that. What's up, Hottie? Also love the go, no go charts. Recommend to users. Cool. Okay, so auto chart indicators. So let me just make sure that I am understanding you correctly. You're talking auto fibs, auto trends, auto chart patterns, heat maps. Presumably that's what you're referring to here. If that's not what you're referring to, we could talk QQQ. Is that what you're referring to though, Steve? Yeah, okay, cool. So, when it comes to all of the auto analysis tools, first thing you got to know about them, if you are not familiar already, auto analysis tools are built off of what we call the truth and analysis timestamp. The truth and analysis timestamp is delineated by a vertical dashed line somewhere on the chart. Sometimes it's going to be on the current candle. Sometimes it's going to be on some candle in the past. And if it's on a candle in the past, like here on the Qs, what that represents is the last time that the auto analysis tools were updated. So you can see it's been a minute since I've updated my auto analysis tools here on the QQQ chart. For every single chart that exists, the auto analysis or the truth and analysis line is going to be unique per every chart. So, if you go to AMD and you updated AMD yesterday, it's going to be locked to yesterday. If you want the most up-to-date auto analysis, do make sure that you refresh your chart. So you see how this thing is locked right now to March 12th. That means that all of my auto analysis tools are going to be drawn based off of March 12th being the last known candle. You see where it's drawing the fib sequence. You can see where it's drawing the trend lines. It's not taking into account everything past March 12th. And, that's by design, right? Like, we don't know what you're utilizing in your analysis. So we don't want to be the ones to determine when your analysis changes. It's up to you. So in order to update your auto analysis tools, first thing you got to know, click that refresh button and it will bring the truth line up to the current candle, and it'll readjust your auto analysis tools to include all of the current candles, including the current one, all of the most recent candles, including the current one. Now, when it comes to how I use this, I do love me some fibs. So I am paying attention to fibs for sure. Depending on, my idea for the trade is how I'm going to determine my time frame, what I want to include on the fibs. The fibs are going to draw the most recently completed swing. So either from a low to a high or from a high to a low. So the platform is identifying that this low to this high is the most recently completed swing, and therefore it's drawing a fib sequence. And you can see it's going to draw the fib sequence to the downside, right? Because it's the reverse of the move that it's identifying. So an upside move gets the fibs drawn to the downside. You want to see where those potential reversals are. So when it comes to the fibs, the auto fibs, this is how I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it just to show me the fib on the most recently completed move. That's what it does. And that's how I'm going to use it. When it comes to trend lines, I think a little bit differently about trend lines. I personally, in my personal trading, I don't use diagonals too often. But, sometimes I will just turn this thing on just to kind of see where it sees stuff that I don't see right off the bat sometimes. And so that's how I'm going to use it. I'm just going to kind of look and see like what looks kind of interesting here to me. Anything that looks interesting, I'm going to double click. So we'll double click this horizontal one. I'm going to double click this one, and then maybe these two guys too from those previous highs and from those previous lows. So I'm double clicking on them, and by double clicking on them, I can then turn off the rest of the trends, and just the ones that I double clicked on are going to be locked in place. Another way that I might utilize these is I'm going to go ahead and remove those. I might right click and say create alert. And I will do this on fibs as well. Any fibs that seem of interest to me, I'm going to almost always create alerts on them just because, I'm out and about all day, or not out and about, but I'm not just staring at the cues all day, right? So if I want to be notified about something, if I want to be alerted to let me know that price is coming into a particular fib spot or a particular trend line or whatever it may be, I'm going to right click on those levels and then just create alerts, maybe touch bounce alerts, maybe breakthrough alerts, just depending on, whatever it is that I might be looking for. I'm going to show you this too. This is important to understand. So I'm going to turn the fibs back on. And, the fibs are identifying this most recently completed swing from this low to this high. The fibs are going to be based off of where the fibs are drawn, are going to be based off of your trend line settings. So let me show you real quickly again how I get to that. So if you turn on trends and you click on the three dots, you're going to have some sort of preset here. This is how I like to look at things in the enhanced view with wicks and ignoring gaps in the most relevant ones. But you might have different settings here. There's original, there's enhanced, and there's standard. If you turn on original, you can see kind of what it does. There are less lines. It's looking further back in time. It's taking more of the longer term lines into account. If you look at standard, it kind of pushes the analysis more towards the front of the chart. You're still getting a few longer term lines, and on enhanced, you're still getting a few shorter term lines, or rather on original, you're still getting a few shorter term lines. But just generally speaking, you're going to see more longer term lines in this original setting. You're going to see more shorter term lines in this standard setting, and then you're going to see a good mix of both in the enhanced setting. So that's kind of why I prefer the enhanced setting. It could maybe appear to be a little bit busy, but you can remove anything. If you hold shift and click on any of these lines, that's going to remove them from view for you. So you can just kind of choose to remove as many as you want. Here in your indicator list, you'll see you have your trend lines. Whenever you have trend lines turned on, you're going to see that as an option in your indicator list. If you ever remove anything that you didn't want to remove, or you want to restore it, right here it says you have removed some trend lines, restore all, click that back on, and everything you just removed will come back to your chart. So that's kind of how I am utilizing the trends. And again, like I said, if you switch your trend setting, your auto fib setting will change as well. Your auto fibs are built, they're not built off trend lines, but they're built off of the trend line setting. So do keep that in mind. That's an important little piece to remember. What else? We've got chart patterns. I would say that chart patterns are probably one of the things that I use the most when it comes to the auto analysis tools. The platform can automatically identify tons of different patterns, from broadening patterns to channels, double tops and bottoms, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, a couple of different triangles, a couple of different wedges. And the kind of the most powerful things, the most powerful thing that I think is available when it comes to these chart patterns is not just the auto identification of them on the chart, but it's the ability to be able to then scan for chart pattern setups. So if you go to your market scanner here and you open up this search bar and you type in falling wedge, for example, this is just one example, you're looking for falling wedge breakouts. Well, here you go. Oops, let me grab just the basic one, because y'all will have all TrendSpider traders are going to have a bunch of free shared scans in their scanner, anything labeled as hashtag sample. So if I come back up here and I just search sample, everything here is going to be stuff that's going to be available on your end as well. You can see there's a ton of stuff in here. If I switch this again, let me go back to falling wedge. And I'm going to pick the falling wedge breakout. I'm going to turn the current candle toggle on. I'm going to run this scan. We'll see if anything comes up. Cool. Yeah, there's some stuff coming up. So I'm going to turn off all of this stuff and just turn on the falling wedges so we can kind of see. So here's your falling wedge breakouts. Right? No more hunting around for these things. Just scan and find. And to me, that's one of the most powerful pieces of the platform, or of the auto analysis tools within the platform, is this functionality. You can do this for all the patterns. So whatever you're looking for related to any chart pattern that the platform can automatically identify, you can find it with just a couple of simple conditions here. And in most cases, these conditions are pre-built for you, so you don't even have to build anything, which is really helpful. The last piece, so candle patterns, obviously automatic candle pattern discovery here. So, hundreds of different candlestick patterns. I'm a price action guy, so these strat patterns are kind of interesting to me. The 1-2 Us, those inside breaks are kind of cool. So that might be something that I would utilize these for, just kind of hunting for 2 ups after a consolidation candle. And again, same idea. If I do this, one sec. So what I can do is if I go to visual scripts here and I say 1, 2, let me see if there's something pre-built. Yeah. So here's the strat 1-2 up. So this is a condition that searches for that candlestick pattern for me. And I can take this and I can send this to the scanner. So it's pre-built, ready to go. And again, all I got to do is pick my scan through list, turn the current candle toggle on so I can find this happening today. And then it's going to find me all of the 1-2 ups on the day. So another good way of finding those candlestick patterns. Again, it can automatically identify them on the chart for you, but it can also, you can utilize them in the scanner and in the strategy tester and stuff. On candle patterns, it gets very busy. Is there a place I can see what the definition of the pattern is? Oh, let me see here. If we go click on this button, the question mark button, and go to read docs and knowledge base, and then type in chart patterns. Let me see if there is specifics. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, so I'm going to send you this so you can kind of read through it. What I would say about it becoming very busy, Steve, is I would pretty strongly recommend that you don't have all of your patterns turned on at once. Have one or two that are the most important to you turned on. That's how I would be thinking about it, but this is an explanation of how all of the patterns are built. So hopefully this can give you some example or some idea of what the platform is doing to identify these patterns. That's a nice big breakdown of everything for you. And then finally, the last of the auto analysis tools to speak on is the heat maps. Heat maps, me personally, I prefer the horizontal heat maps. And the reason why I prefer the horizontal heat maps is because, like I said, I'm a horizontal trend line price action trader. So I'm kind of personally always really interested in trend and what's going on with trend. And heat maps are a good way of seeing potential areas of support and resistance based off of previous areas of consolidation on the chart. So if the platform identifies an area where the same highs or the same lows have been made over a handful of candles, it's going to go ahead and create a heat map there and then extend that heat map forward for you on the right. And then you can see that the heat maps will fade over time. They go from a bright red when they're first created, and then they fade over time. That fade is meant to represent the idea that over time, these areas' ability to act as potential areas of support or resistance will fade over time as well. Is it possible to have two symbols on the same chart, like monitor SPY and 10-year simultaneously? So there is. You're not going to love it. It's not the most proficient way, but let me see. What is it called? Hold on. I haven't used this indicator in a while, but let me think about what it's called. I might have to zoom through here and see. Give me one sec. Darn, I cannot remember what this thing's called. Is it price compare? Yeah. Okay. So I don't think this is what you want. What's up, Dwayne? How we doing, bro? Happy, what day is today for you? Is today Monday for you? Or is today Saturday for Sunday? Today might be Sunday for you. Whatever it is, good day to you, sir. Hope you're well. Excuse me. Everybody in the chat, Dwayne, the homie Dwayne, is a fella that you will speak to. Okay, it's Monday for Dwayne. Dwayne is one of our customer support guys. So whenever you have questions about the platform or about your account or whatever it might be, if you're not live with me getting those questions answered, you can get those questions answered via this contact us button right here in the bottom right hand corner, this little orange button. It's kind of behind my head, but you see my cursor down here. These are real live people hanging out in chat every single day, Monday through Sunday, answering questions, there to help you guys. So everybody say hello to Dwayne, get to know him. He's your homie. And he's here to help you. If I'm not live, Dwayne is a guy that you can talk to and get answers about the platform if ever you have them. So John, here's the first thought for you, is the price compare indicator. And the price compare indicator, you can type in a symbol and see that chart on your chart. But the thing is this is really no different than multi-symbol view. And so really what I would recommend if I were you is I would go to this little button right here, click on that guy and click on multi-symbol view. And in multi-symbol view, you can have up to 16 charts up at once. Now, what is that thing? Hattie, what is that? I've never seen that before. I don't know what this is. I'm removing it. I don't like it. Sorry. John, my guess is that perhaps you might want to see multiple tickers plotted on the exact same chart. And at that time, that's not possible, unfortunately. What's up, why not? How we doing? Hope you're good today, sir. So, John, does that answer your question? Does that help you? I mean, I think it gets you, at the very least, it gets you part of the way there. It might not get you exactly where you're trying to go. If you're looking for a comparison of SPY and the 10-year, we do offer composite charts. Again, I'm going to direct you here. Thank you for coffee. Oh, is this you sending us money? You don't have to do that, Hattie. If that's what you're doing. If you're asking for money, I cannot have that on my stream. You can't be asking for money here. But if you're sending money, you don't need to do that. That's very kind of you, but you don't need to do that. This is my job. I'm here to do this. Okay, John, sweet. John, how long have you been a TrendSpider trader for? Also, Steve, what about you? How long have you been here for? That's very kind, Hattie. Truly, but not necessary. You don't need to do that. So what's up? What else can I help you guys with? Any other big questions, pressing things that you guys need to know before the weekend arrives? 6 months. Nice, Steve. Very glad to have you, sir. Oh, wow, John, 2 to 3 years. Holy moly, man. Thank you. That's awesome. Knowledge is power. Agreed, Hattie. So what else? Any other items that y'all are curious about? Dwayne, anything that you've heard recently in chat that that I could spend a little time explaining and then you could use as a reference point in the future? I don't have anything top of mind right now. I can tell you guys about this. This is something new that we've added. If you're interested in fundamentals, inside of other data, if you click on the 3 dots and click on fundamentals, we now offer a very, very large array of fundamental data. This is the first piece of it, being able to see fundamental data in a lower indicator. We're adding new pieces here in just a moment. Well, not a moment, but like in a couple of days, there's going to be more use case for fundamentals. Trying to learn some of the tricks to help with finding setups. Like how would I scan for a MACD cross, for example? Oh, brother, let's show you. So I'm going to show you I'm going to show you 2 ways, Steve. If you come up to visual scripts and then type in MACD cross, you're going to see a couple things. MACD cross down, MACD cross up, bearish, bullish, right? So let's say MACD cross up. If you click on that, it's going to load the conditions right here into your script manager with RSI over 70. All right, we can do that too. So it's going to load this. Click on Send To and go to Market Scanner. And so it loads that condition in for you. And then you want RSI greater than 70 as well. So recently we added GPT conditions. This is ChatGPT for script writing. So click on that and type in RSI greater than 70 and say apply. Oh, what? I'm kind of surprised. Let me see. Greater than? Let's try this. Huh. I'm actually surprised by this. RSI. Let's just see what it does if I type in RSI. I'm surprised this isn't working properly. I might have to tell our developer about this. Failed to convert RSI to a condition. All right. Well, in that case, go to add parameter, say condition. RSI is an indicator, so say indicator. Pick your time frame. Type in RSI. Choose the relative strength index option. Say greater than or equal to a constant value of 70. So now you got your two conditions. This one's is just when it was made, it was preset to 30 minutes. So you may want to change that time frame. I'll change it to the daily just for a little bit, just bigger time frame stuff. I'm going to go to the 500. I'm going to turn today's candle on and run the scan. Let's see if we find anything. Don't know if we're going to have any MACD crosses on the 500 today. But if we don't find anything, then we can just use a bigger list. Composite view. What do you mean, John? Yeah, it'd be cooler if this thing was working faster. I'm going to have to reach out to the team about this. Should not be taking this long. All right, I'm going to try something really quick here. I'm just going to try this again. I've refreshed the platform. I want to see if this will work now. Interesting. All right. So I'm just re-entering these conditions real quick. Let me use a bigger list too. There we go. That's more like it. And then, obviously, we can throw up, show you this too. This is kind of cool. If you want to, you can actually do things like this. Assistant is also a ChatGPT function on the platform. So if I go to Assistant and I say add MACD, first option, add MACD to your charts. It adds MACD to my charts. If I said add RSI, again, add relative strength index to your chart. So here you go. Here's your MACD cross up with RSI above 70. MACD cross up, MACD cross up, MACD cross up, and so on. So here's what you're after, sir. Do you want... Steve, do you want me to share this with you? We'll say MACD cross up with RSI greater than 70. We'll save it. Another really cool piece of the platform. Oops. Share. to share this with you so that you have it. Oh, Go No Go Pro series on TrendSpider. Can I search for new Go signals on the scanner? No, I don't think so. I don't. The custom indicators. All right, actually, let me take it back. Custom indicators at this current moment, you cannot utilize custom indicators anywhere other than on your charts. That functionality is changing. And so you can actually, I don't have an exact date, but Dan, our CEO, just tweeted about this the other day, saying that utilizing custom indicators in Scanner, in Strategy Tester, all that stuff was like coming very soon. So perhaps when that comes, that will be possible. However, here's the problem that I would see. If I turn on, let me just go to bigger name here. If I turn on Go No Go, just standard Go No Go is not available in the scanner. It's not available anywhere. And if I'm completely honest, I don't know why that's the case, but it's not available anywhere. If that's going to change if the new or the additional Go No Go indicators are going to be scannable in the future, I honestly don't know. But let me show you this. There is an indicator on the platform called Chats. This is the Chandi Absolute Trend Strength Indicator. There is a candle painting version of this indicator. Let me turn off Go No Go so you can see. Oops, no, I wanted to turn off Chats and turn on Go No Go. All right, so here's your Chats. Chats here, Go No Go here. Chats is a trend strength indicator as well. And though it is not one for one the exact same as Go No Go, you can see by the charts it's actually quite similar. There is an additional Chats indicator in the platform called the lower indicator. I'm going to throw that up here on the right-hand side. And so what this lower indicator is, it looks very much like an oscillator. I mean, it is an oscillator. It looks very much like RSI or something. When the value of the lower indicator is below negative 70, you have purple candles. When it's between negative 70 and 0, you get anywhere from pink to like kind of gray color. Above 0 and up to 70, you get kind of lighter green colors. And then above 70, you're at this bright green color. And that sounds a lot like Go No Go to me. Even though, like I said, it's not one for one. What this indicator opens up is the ability to backtest and scan for and alert on Chats conditions. So my idea here for you is utilize Chats. If you're interested in Go No Go, utilize Chats to find Go No Go. Right? So if you define Chats as greater than 85, you're probably going to get a Go No Go that's a bright blue. If you define Chats as less than negative 70, you're going to get a Go No Go that is a dark purple. Right? And you can utilize the numbers that way. That's kind of how I think about it. Let me share this with you too. Just so that I'm actually making a video about this right now that we're going to release soon. But let me share this with you because there is a video that we made with the gentleman who invented Chats. And what's cool about Chats, it's only available on TrendSpider. You cannot get this anywhere else. So check out that video. So it'll give you an idea of how to utilize it, and it might be able to help you. All right, I'm going back into the chats here, not the indicator, the chat itself. Keith, what's up? Good to see you. Is there a way? That's a great question, Al. Is there a way to implement exit conditions in the strategy tester based on risk reward ratio? So, I mean, yeah, sort of. You can use stop losses and take profits, right? If you have a strategy, whatever your strategy is, I'm just going to load something random in here. Just do this. And you just had a stop loss of 1% and a trailing stop, or rather a take profit at 3. Well, that's 3 to 1, isn't it? It's kind of how I'd be thinking about it with percentages. However, it doesn't really serve you. Well, I don't want to say it doesn't serve you, but I don't know how often people are creating strategies in which they have some sort of technical stuff that causes them to get in, and then they simply just let a stop loss or a take profit be the thing that gets them out. But I mean, you could try it. There's no reason not to try it. You could certainly test it and see. You might find something that's worth doing. Excuse me. Okay, getting back to John. Can I discuss composite view? Do you mean like composite charts? While I wait for John, what's my favorite threshold? I mean, Tushar, who invented the indicator, he says that you want to be, essentially, you want to be long. Like, price will pin, in the strongest trends, price pins to the extremes. So right here, you know, like where, oh shoot, let me do this. Like all through in here, where it's like pinned to 100 or near 100, he says this is not oversold, or not overbought rather. He says this is when you want to be long, and you want to be short when you're pinned to negative 70 and lower. So that's how I think about it. Like when I'm developing strategies using chats, I'm thinking about, like, there's a couple of different things you can think about, right? You could think about like the move from below the zero line to above the zero line. You can try the move from less than 70 to above 70. On the Netflix and chats strategy that I built some time ago that works quite well. How did I do this? Let me see. So essentially I had to find that it was greater than 55 for 5 candles in a row. I didn't define where it was before that. I just said greater than 55. And then essentially what I looked for was a pretty swift move from above the 70 value to below it. So it went from 78 to 74 to 70 to 70 to 70 to 70 to, or rather 78 to 70 in 4 candles, and then below 70 for 3 candles. And that was my exit if it stayed below 70 for 3 candles. So this is kind of how I would think about it. Like, you know, you want to be long in this green when the chat's indicator is in this green area. You want to be utilizing the move out of that green area as your potential risk off signal. Like here it didn't, I don't even know. Hold on, let me go to Netflix and actually run this strategy really quick. Essentially what it does is it kind of avoids, it stays in the trend, and then when the trend is clearly starting to change, it gets out. And then it waits for another, it just waits for another trend reversal to get back in. This thing works really well. Like, this is such a simple strategy, but it works really well. So that's how I'd be thinking about it. All right, so Steve. Still waiting on John with the composite view. Presumably, John, you're talking about composite charts. In the meantime, Steve, fundamentals. So if you click on those 3 dots, or rather click on the question mark here, and again, go to read docs and knowledge base. This is going to be your hub. Type in fundamentals. and click on that article. And we're going to do like a proper release about this here in the not so distant future. So this article is kind of a little bit piecemeal. It's just very basic. But if you want to know what fundamental metrics are supported, here is everything that's supported right now. You can see it's a pretty big list. So I don't want to go through all of this list right now. It's kind of that would be kind of crazy. I don't think it's what you want me to do anyway. But you can dig through the list so you understand what's there. Let me do this. I will paste this just so that you guys have it. When it comes to scanning for fundamentals, fundamentals are right now, they're only, this is the very, we just launched this as the very first iteration of this data. And right now, all that's available is the lower indicator. So you can pull up the fundamental data and visualize it on whatever chart you happen to be looking at. If you want to change the series, see right now it's gross profit. If I wanted to make this like cash on hand, just type in cash and here's cash and cash equivalents, and it's going to give me that information. Now this is quarterly. This is as of each quarter. This is the all of the fundamental data right now is just quarterly data. So it's not the increments that you can break it down are not any smaller than the quarter. But that's how you would navigate this. You've got the line that's just telling you the value. You've got the current year and then the previous year. So the current year is going to be the colored dot. It's either going to be red or green. And then the previous year is going to be the gray dot. And the value of, or the dot is colored based off of relative to the previous year. So this quarter 4, 23, they have more cash on hand than they had last quarter 4. So therefore you get a green dot and a gray dot below it. Whereas here, quarter 4 of 2022, they had less cash on hand than they had in quarter 4 of 2021. And so you get a red dot with the gray dot above it. Does that make, hopefully that makes sense? The same way that we just read that is the same way it's going to be read for all of the fundamental data. Cool. All right. And then, like I said, we've got essentially you're going to have in just a few days, I believe, there's going to be a fundamentals widget here on the right-hand side. So what you're used to visually seeing with like options, you're going to have a fundamental version of this. I can't show you what that looks like yet because it's not live, but same idea. All right, so you want to see a chart of SPY divided by 10-year. So I would say SPY divided by, what's the 10-year TNet? I don't know what the 10-year ticker is. I don't pay any attention to treasuries. I'm sorry. What's the 10-year ticker? The ETF of the 10-year. Let me see. Ten-year Treasury ETF. Ah, James, you're the man. Okay. So SPY divided by 10 year 1 exclamation point. Okay, I'm not doing this right. You guys are catching me and not knowing. I do not use composite charts ever. All right, here's SPY divided by TNX. Ten-year 1. Okay. James, thank you. Y'all, just so you know, we have a star-studded group today in the chat. James is also leader of the support team. So two kick-ass support guys hanging out in chat right now with us. So just so you guys know, say hello to Dwayne, say hello to James. These guys are guys that you can talk to all the time When I'm not live, these guys are your guys to help you. So John, this is how you would do that. Pretty simple little equation there. I believe that it does have to be in these. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. So yeah, you could just say equals SPY divided by 10y1 exclamation point to get that chart. Does that help you? And you can get pretty sick with this. Like you can do, I don't know. Let me just add some things. Like here's this is the Magnificent Seven. So this is Meta plus Google plus Amazon plus Netflix plus Apple plus Tesla plus Microsoft divided by 7, which is pretty fun, you know? Awesome, John. Well, there you go. And like I said, I forwarded that document, this guy. If you want like a deep, thorough understanding of how to utilize this and like what is possible, just have a read through this, because like it's got examples. It's got examples. It tells you all the different metrics, the mathematical operations that are supported, all that sort of stuff that you might want to know. Hopefully that's good for you. Steve, you got to hop. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for the kind words. We try to do these once, or rather maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes it's, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometime this week we did Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. It just kind of depends. You know, my normal day job just requires me to kind of, depending on how much time I have is kind of like when I'll do these. But I always try to do at least a couple of them a week. Oh yeah, let me get you a link. Here you go, John. Yeah, I try to do a couple of these a week, and usually sometime in the morning-ish. I'm in Colorado, so I'm 2 hours behind the market. So I try to be live like somewhere between 10 and 12 a.m. Eastern time is kind of the general schedule that I try to keep, but it just depends. And I also will go live for big market events. Like we were live on Wednesday for the FOMC announcement. We watched Jerome Powell's press conference. I go live for, you know, fun earnings reports that might affect the market. Things like Tesla and Apple and those sorts, and Nvidia. I'll be live for those. So those obviously are different times. Those are in the afternoon. But yeah, that's how I roll. Try and do these a couple times a week. Try and keep it fun, low key, and try and help you guys with whatever questions you might have. That's really what it's all about. I don't have every answer, but I've got a bunch of them. And whatever I don't have, you know, usually 1 or 2 of the support guys are here, or, you know, I've got a direct line to the team, and I can ask questions on y'all's behalf anytime too. So yeah, that's the vibe. Brian. So Brian, you're here all the time. Did you not know that we offered composite charts? Is this a new development for you? That's cool. We try and teach something new every time. Or we try and see to it that you guys learn something new every time. So Steve, all right. So the best place to go at this time is just subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, the YouTube will let you know. But we are in the process of thinking through how to implement notifying people that I'm live in platform. So we think that it would be really cool if when I go live, you got a little notification. If you're on TrendSpider, you got a little notification, say, hey, Jason's live. Feel free to tune in. Here's a link. We haven't implemented that yet, but man, I want to do that so bad. So hopefully we'll get to eventually. But for the time being, subscribe to the YouTube channel and then you'll be alerted. I try to, I've started, let me ask you this, Steve, are you in our Discord? If you're not yet in our Discord, let me get you a link. In our Discord, there's an announcements channel, and I've started announcing in that channel that I'm going live. That's not something that I'd been doing, but I'm going to start doing that now every time. So if you want to join the Discord and just kind of keep an eye on that channel, that's another way too. I think you could probably put alerts on for that channel if you wanted to. But yeah, anyway, that I wish that there were more efficient ways to do it. But until there's a more efficient way, those are the most efficient ways. So yeah, we're coming up into time here. Does anybody have any other questions that they're trying to get answered before I jump? Brian, that's awesome that this is new to you. I mean, you're here all the time. I guess I don't really talk about the composite charts that much because it's just not something that I personally pay attention to that much. And nobody really ever asks, or, you know, John's kind of the first to ask, at least in a while. But yeah, Steve, man, thank you so much for coming and joining up today. I'm glad that we could get some answers or some questions answered for you. Always good. Always good to be able to do that. But yeah, hit us with a subscribe. Hit us with a like on the channel. All that stuff really helps us. If you're just tuned in and you're kind of, you know, not saying anything, but you're enjoying these live streams, you just come to hang out and don't really talk too much, hit us with a like. Hit us with a subscribe to the channel. Yeah, definitely. I mean, James, you're right. You are not wrong about it. Just, you know, it's just a layer that I don't get into too much personally. But yeah, so any last minutes? Usually Friday is kind of slow. Usually Friday's a little slow. So any last minute questions? If not, all good. I'll jump on out of here and wish you guys adieu and farewell. And hopefully you all have a awesome weekend. Get to touch some grass and hang out with your families and do fun things. Going once, going twice. Questions, anybody? Anything that I can help with? All right, so if no, be on the lookout for, there's a concept called wealth triangle. Looks like relative strength of gold, first real estate, first Dow Jones. It's interesting. It almost sounds like, is this like the, what's his name? The Jojo Roro guy. Darn. I feel bad. I don't know. I can't remember his name. The lumber to gold ratio guy. Oh, it's all good, Dwayne. It's all good. All right, y'all. Well, I guess we're going to jump. Again, remember, fundamentals are now available as a lower indicator. Keep an eye out next week for the new fundamental widget. I'm told that's coming here in a few days. And as soon as it's live, I will, of course, be here demoing it and showing you guys kind of what you can do with it. Until then, I hope that everybody has an awesome weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. If you need anything between now and the next time that I'm live, like I said, remember, you've got the guys in chat. They are there to help you. Click on that contact us button down the bottom. Oh, you know what? I just realized you can't see it. Here. Right here. This contact us button. Let me move my head so that you can actually really see it. Okay. This contact us button right here. This is a direct feed into our employee chat room. We have employees live. Monday through Sunday, every single day. They're helping you, answering questions. So if you get stuck on something over the weekend, you're having trouble finding something, you're having trouble scripting something, you're having trouble understanding how to utilize a particular tool, hit these guys up. They will be happy to help you. If you need me, you can find me on Twitter at Krutzky Trades. There's my Twitter handle. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. And if you need something, you can DM me. My DMs are open. I'm always happy to field questions there as well. So that's it for me, you guys. I hope everybody has an awesome weekend, like I said. And we'll see you guys all very soon. All right. Yeah. We good? Everybody good? We're good? I think so. All right. Take care, everybody. See you soon.